The new book for sports fans, Got Your Number, the greatest sports legends and the numbers they own. It uses the numbers 1 through 100 to celebrate great athletes and feats. The authors, ESPN's Mike Greenberg and Paul Hembekides, they both join us now. Welcome, guys.
Well, we're thrilled to be here. Thanks for having us.
So let's start with you. I mean, obviously, this goes beyond just stats and the numbers that people actually wear on their jerseys. How did you decide? Because a number of the things are controversial, from bars to, places with barber shops.
Yeah.
People are going to disagree with some, but how did you go to the idea of use numbers to tell these stories?
Well, it actually came up because in a conversation after the show that we work on, which is the Get Up show on ESPN, several of us made the observation that a lot of the greatest football players, the quarterbacks, all wore the same jersey number. And someone said to me, yeah, they all wore number 12, but who owns the number 12? And that literally is where the idea went off in my head. I called Hembo, who is the best researcher in the sports business by far. I said, we're going to do a book. We're going to decide who owns every number from 1 to 100. You're going to research it. I'm going to write it. The next thing I know, we're on Good Morning America, so it seems to have worked out.
Tell me about the number 60, because a lot of people are going to think greatest rivalry of all time. Immediately, I think Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, but you guys say no.
I'll take this one if you don't mind, because this one was very personally important to me. I grew up a tennis fan, and the greatest rivalry in the history of sports was between Chris Evert and Martina Navratilova. I don't care what other argument you want to make. Ali, Frazier, Magic and Larry, Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain, they share the number 60 because they met in the finals of tournaments 60 times. That is a number that will never be approached. And so we wanted to honor them together because they deserve to be remembered together. So they're number 60 and they share that together in the book.
All right, Hembo, we're going to go to you for this one. So we talked about like Tom Brady, number 12, Joe DiMaggio, number 5, Hank Aaron, 44. There are certain numbers that people really do inherently own. But some are going to disagree. Wayne Gretzky, obviously, he's number 99, but you guys referred to him as number 1, really, when it comes to team athletes.
That's right. It is our belief that Wayne Gretzky, not Michael Jordan, not Babe Ruth, Wayne Gretzky is, at least relative to his sport, the greatest athlete in the history of North American team sports. And that's because when you compare Gretzky to who might be second on the all-time hockey list, the differential between he and whoever is number 2 is much greater than it is between the number 1 in any other sport and number 2 in that particular sport.
All right, it's somebody who's playing today, Tiger Woods, getting the number 97.
Yeah.
What's the significance of 97?
Because that's the year that he won the Masters for the first time, which did so many things in sports. It changed the sport of golf. There was such significance over and above the actual golf piece of that to Tiger Woods winning that particular tournament. But also, because of the greatness that ensued, I think you can almost divide the history of golf into the time before he won the Masters and the time after. We wanted to be able to give athletes who didn't wear jersey numbers. So we needed one for Tiger Woods. He's one of the greatest athletes in history. 97 felt like the right choice.
And what was it, 27, Hembo, that you had the most difficult time deciding?
21.
21.
Was the number that we had the most difficult time deciding, because Roberto Clemente wore the number 21, Deion Sanders wore the number 21, Tim Duncan wore the number 21, amongst many others. That was perhaps the most difficult choice we had to make because each a legend in their respective sport. Greeny, want to give it away?
We chose Roberto Clemente because of his historical significance. I think Roberto Clemente is one of the 5 most important people in baseball history. Baseball's humanitarian award every year is called the Roberto Clemente Award. So while all of them, I think, were equally great players, we decided Clemente was the greatest legend.
What do you think is the most contentious point in the whole book? I mean, is it that Michael Jordan's not number 1?
I think, like you just asked about number 21, there are going to be so many chapters that you turn to if you're a sports fan and perhaps be disappointed that maybe number 4 or number 7 or number 8 isn't the person that you would necessarily select. But it was our sort of charge to be able to make every defense as good as we possibly could. So even if you might turn to a page and say, that's not who I think owns the number X, we think that with the stats and information that we put forth, we can at least convince you to come to our side of the fence.
That said, a lot of people are mad at me that Mickey Mantle is not number 7. I'll admit it. I was on a talk show in New York yesterday, and I mean, I'm losing friends, lifelong friendships, over not making Mantle number 1. But we felt that John Elway deserved it. But the book is also, if I could very quickly, it's also about sports history. The way that Hembo and I both fell in love with sports growing up was by reading about sports history, and I think there's some of that is being lost a little bit. I don't feel like younger people are doing that. So the book has a lot of elements of debate. We made our choices. You might agree or disagree. But whether you agree or disagree, because his research is so exceptional, people will learn a lot about sports history, whether you agree with us or not, and that actually is the part of it I feel best about.
All right, Greenie, Hemba, we thank you so much. Want to let everybody know, Got Your Number is on sale now.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.